guys, it's Matt. It's Mentorship Monday. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. If you guys want to submit questions for Mentorship Monday for me to answer right here on the YouTube channel, you want to email them to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. That's helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. You can ask questions in the subject bar below, but I'm not going to put them on the YouTube channel. You might not get a very well thought out answer if you ask them in the question bar down below. But if you email them to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com, we will answer them right here on the YouTube channel for you and everyone else to learn from. So consider doing that. Also consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. Today's question comes from Norman, and he is in Mississippi. So thank you, Norman, for joining us. Norman wants to talk about accelerated depreciation. So there's a lot of folks out there that, gurus or whatever, and even your CPA may recommend you do it. Norman actually talked to his CPA about it, and Norman's just getting into the real estate game. So your CPA is correct. That's what he told you, Norman, is that you're too soon to be getting into looking at accelerated depreciation, but it's something you can get into on larger assets. For those of you that don't know, here's what accelerated depreciation is. It's taking your real estate building and looking at the things that are fixtures and that are movable, and the things that are stationary in the building that are long-term investments in the property. The reason why you want to do that is the IRS lets you depreciate things faster if they are fixtures, movable items that deteriorate quicker than the building itself does. So your furnace itself doesn't depreciate at the same rate that the building does if you break it out. There's guys that get crazy with this. Well, they'll break out light fixtures and stoves and countertops and anything that has a shorter life than the rest of the structure does, they will break out and set aside. Now you can depreciate those faster. I believe you can write them off over 7 years versus the entire building, which if it's a residential asset, it's 27.5 years, or if it's a commercial asset, it's something like 45 years. If you can tell, I'm not a CPA. But the benefit to you guys is that in depreciating it faster, you get a better tax write-off. So if your tax burden on a property would be $10,000, if you do accelerated depreciation, you might only claim $3,000 of that, because depreciation is a claim against your income, and you get to not have to pay tax on the income you made because you depreciated it. It's a double-edged sword, because after you burn off those 7 years worth of depreciation, you will be left with less to write off on the long term. So in my opinion, is accelerated depreciation is playing the short game in real estate, in that you're trying to get gains in like on a short, just over a couple of years. You're trying to write off your cash flow over the first couple of years of the property. And when you sell the property, you've got to recapture all those write-offs anyway, so you have to pay tax on the money then. But if you've got a property where you really want to front load a lot of your write-offs and you really want to get a lot of deductions going in the first couple of years, an accelerated depreciation is a good idea. I don't do it on our apartment buildings and the other stuff that we have, because I tend to play the long game on real estate, so I can write stuff off over time. And if I have to go and put something in that's a major capital expense into the building, I might write that off in the first year as a one-line expense versus capitalizing it. Now, I'm speaking accountant talk now, but either way, there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. Talk to your CPA guys before you go and start playing games of depreciation and stuff like that on your properties. But great question, Norman. More of like a 202 type of question. And if you're just getting started in real estate, don't get caught up in the short grass on depreciation initiatives and stuff like that. Just worry about setting some reasonable, attainable goals, and then focusing, and don't get distracted, and pushing forward and getting your goals achieved. So if you guys liked that, then be sure to like our station here by subscribing. You can also subscribe to our newsletter by clicking the link in on the YouTube page here to subscribe to that too. Be sure you do that, and check more of us out at DeRosaGroup.com too. Thank you for watching, guys. I always appreciate you guys, and thank you, Norman, and have a great and profitable week.